Hello everyone! Welcome to the first episode of our CSR-x research series, the Research Process 101. Today we'll be focusing on the first crucial step of any research project, finding your research question. I'm Victoria Yuqin Ma, the President of Culturator and one of the head program managers here at CSR-x, and I'll be guiding you through this process. In this episode series, we'll cover a range of topics to help you through your research journey. So first, we'll look at finding your research question, then conducting a literature review, establishing a hypothesis, designing an experiment, and then looking at both artificial intelligence and computer-aided design as tools for this process, and then analyzing your results, different types of papers, making a poster, and finally presenting your work. CSR-x, or the Collaborative Summer Research Experience, is a free online summer program. This program engages high school students worldwide in various research disciplines, from biomedicine to economics. At the end of the term, outstanding works are going to be recognized with publication opportunities. We're super excited to have you join us this summer, and we're looking forward to a very enriching experience filled with fun memories and also collaborative learning. The CSR-x episode series, the Research Process 101, will guide you step by step through the research process. These episodes are designed as asynchronous learning materials to complement mentor lectures and discussion groups during cohort sessions. First, let's get to know a little bit more about me. I'm a junior at the Harker School in San Jose, California. My research focuses on marine biology and environmental pollution with a focus on California's ecosystems. I've been competing in science fairs for over 5 years now and recently competed at ISEF 2024. So now let's dig in. The first question that we have to ask ourselves is, what is a research question? Essentially, a research question is the crux of a research project, and this helps us point the study towards a specific niche and determine the methodology and guide the researcher's inquiry process. So essentially, the research question is the central problem that we're trying to solve. Then the next question that we have to ask is, why do we need a research question? In the research process, you start with a research question. Conduct literature review revolving that field, establish a hypothesis, design and conduct an experiment, analyze your results, and then finally draw conclusions and present your findings. As it says here, the research process is not linear. It's a cycle. It's about a process of trial and erroring, and throughout this process, if one thing does not work, you have to go back to the previous step, essentially like the idea of going back to the drawing board and then try again. The research question provides focus and direction and defines the scope of the study. It also helps in forming a hypothesis and selecting a methodology, which are also crucial steps that we'll cover in the next episodes. Essentially, the research question becomes the guiding star in your project, and this helps keep your study focused and on track. So, how do you find a research question? Finding a research question might seem daunting, but it starts with observation. Observation is really key. So look around you. What unresolved issues do you notice in your field of interest? What are you curious about? For example, if you're interested in environmental science, you might notice issues like global warming in the oceans or the effects of climate change on coral reefs. Start broad and then narrow down to something specific that really grabs your attention. So now let's break this down further. First, we start with the bigger picture and then zooming in. We first look at impact, asking the questions like, why do you care about this problem? How does it affect the world? And why is it significant? Most importantly, your passion for the topic will drive your research and really help you stay motivated to continue your research project. Then let's look at the gap. So what do we already know about this topic? What type of work has already been done surrounding your topic? And what hasn't been explored yet? So identifying these gaps via a preliminary literature review is really crucial because your research aim will be to fill one of these gaps. Then we look at value. So why is it important to learn this new information? What could be the potential benefits or applications of your findings? This is where you consider the broader implications of your research and what type of value it will bring to other people in the world and other researchers in your community, right? And then with all of these analyzed and thought about, we can come up with a specific aim, which is to address the gap with a potential solution or new knowledge and bring about the potential value. So next, we have to narrow down your topic, and this mostly involves preliminary research. Start by reading review papers and existing literature in your field. This will give you a sense of what's already been done and where the gaps are. Then ask yourself how your research can address these gaps and how you can use your skills to come up with something that's unique. What new perspectives or data can you bring to the table? Then the next question to ask is, how do I know if my research question is good? To ensure that your research question is pretty strong, ask yourself some of these questions to test clarity, researchability, and significance. So, is your question clear and focused? Avoid very vague language or very, again, broad over umbrella statements. A good question should be really specific and concise. And then researchability. Can you realistically research this question? Consider the availability of data, resources, and time. And is it within your capabilities to address this question within the given time frame? And then significance. So is the question significant? Does it address a pressing issue or gap in the current knowledge? Make sure to ensure that it has potential value and importance in your field. So now let's talk about another really important concept, marginal impact. This concept is really similar to the law of diminishing marginal returns in economics, which basically states that as more units of a variable input, like your research efforts, are added to a fixed output, which is the existing body of knowledge, the additional output, which is new knowledge produced by each additional unit, will eventually decrease. So in the early stages of a research on a topic, people might uncover significant insights because they're basically exploring uncharted territory. But as groups of researchers delve deeper, the additional knowledge that can be gained from each new study might be less impactful. So ask yourself, how much new information is your work going to add to the existing body of knowledge? Is this still worth exploring? If your topic's already well studied, think about how you can add a unique perspective or a focus on a less explored aspect. So next, we have to look at cost-effective analysis, essentially evaluating the feasibility of your research question to ensure that the project goes smoothly. So first, we look at time management, thinking about, do you have enough time to thoroughly investigate your question and produce cathartic results within the given time frame? And then we look at resource availability. Are there resources that you need, such as data and equipment and even like participants in an experiment, available to you given the online format? And then we look at opportunity cost. So consider what you might be giving up to pursue this research question over another research question. Are the expected outcomes worth the investment of your time and resources? So make sure that the potential benefits that your question brings about justifies the costs. So most importantly, a very crucial point to remember is that you don't have much time in this program. So make a decision and commit. No research topic is going to be perfect, and we really have to avoid a perfectionist mindset of trying to search for that quote-unquote perfect research topic. Once you've chosen your topic, dive in and explore it fully. So the success of your research largely depends on your dedication and how you approach the research process over how you pick the research topic. Be diligent and, most importantly, be adaptable. Have that trial and error process and make sure that you pick yourself back up every single time you encounter an obstacle. Even if you face challenges or doubts, remember that consistent effort and a flexible mindset will lead to successful outcomes. So as an ending note, starting is often the hardest part of any project. Overcoming the inertia of beginning can be really challenging, but it's crucial to the research process. Here are several tips for you to get started. So break down tasks. divide the start of your project into smaller, more manageable tasks. So for example, reading a couple of papers every day and then taking notes on those papers. This helps to make the overall project less overwhelming and gives you really clear, actionable steps that you can sort of tackle as mini milestones. And then also create a routine. As I just mentioned before, every day you should be doing a little bit of preliminary research, looking deeper into your research question will really help you make steady progress on your project. And then last but not least, remember to celebrate small wins. So acknowledge that big breakthroughs are hard to make, and even if you only make complete smaller tasks, that could remember to celebrate those, and that could help you keep up the momentum and keep you motivated on the project. So here are the action items. After discussing your ideas with your mentors, complete the following action items by the end of phase 1, which is marked by the completion of session 2. So submit your research question via the form that is provided on this slide, and the slides will also be made available on the website. So submit your research question either individually for the history cohort or as a group for the other cohorts. And then think about starting to develop a preliminary plan if not already. So outline the steps that you need to begin your project. And then this will really help you get started on the right foot in this research journey at CSR-x and ensure that you're prepared for the next phases of your research. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode on finding your research question. Remember that the journey of research is a really rewarding one filled with discovery and learning. I really look forward to seeing all of everybody's progress in this program and seeing you in the next episode where we'll be diving deeper into conducting a literature review. Have a great day and happy researching.